Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. It is a brisk, cool day today, and I thought I'd go for a nice little walk, maybe make my way down to Lake Ontario if I can figure out how to get there. I'm just getting used to the area here, so yeah, I love exploration. But I've got my brand new Sigma 50mm 1.4 with me, so I'm going to take her out, get some shots, see what I can get, and see how it turns out. Should be kind of interesting. So stick with me. I'll see you when we get a little bit further on. Bye. For me, there is a simplicity that arrives when fall is in the air. The children are back in school, the parks are left empty, but now there's a newfound joy that fills us with anticipation. The bugs disappear, the days are shorter, the coolness of each day brings us closer to the inevitable start of that first snowflake. But before all that, we have the most amazing transition of color. As the sunlight filters through what's left of the leaves on the trees, shades of crimson, amber, and gold paint an amazing visual for our photo compositions. Even as the leaves fall to the forest floor, the deep tones of color still create a sublime spectacle that fills our souls with a sense of awe and reverence. Mother Nature at her best, creating a magnificence of color, transforming the landscape into a living, breathing work of art. Well, I gotta say, I'm actually surprised that there's still a lot of leaves on the trees down here, which is great. Oh, this looks kind of interesting. I really like the texture of this little plant here, all the little spikes and things. I'm gonna try to take a picture of this, see how it comes out. Got a little bit of yellow in the background. Kind of get that all bokeh out. All right, let's check it out. I'll let you know how this turns out. Okay, so let me get started with some info. The Sigma 50mm f1.4 DGS HSM art lens, that's a mouthful, has 13 elements in 8 groups. The diaphragm has 9 rounded blades, which I think will create some spectacular starburst effects with my compositions. The minimum aperture is only f16, but that's what you'd expect with a lens of this size. But now we get down to the nitty-gritty. The minimum focusing distance is 40 centimeters or 15.7 inches. All right, so minimum focusing distance actually starts at the focusing plane. Now, you're probably asking yourself, where do I find this focusing plane on my camera, and how do I find out what it is for each of my lenses? Well, let's answer those two questions. The focal plane is marked right on our camera body, and you now know that the image sensor is located just under this mark. So basically, right where our sensor is in our cameras. So the focusing distance is measured from this mark to the subject. Now, as for working distance, this measurement comes from a different place on our cameras. Working distance is the distance from the front of our lens to the subject. For my lens, as I mentioned earlier, the focusing distance is 40 millimeters or 15.7 inches. But getting these two distant measurements mixed up can create a problem when you're out in the field, so always double check your minimum distance focusing within your manual for all of your lenses. So, with that being said, unless we understand how our lenses perform with respect to its minimum distancing, we can inadvertently get too close to our subject and miss our shot, which is kind of what happened here. So here's my first image, and this is exactly what we've just been talking about. I think in my anticipation to get out with my new lens, did I read the manual and find out what my minimum focusing distance was? Well, no. And as you can see, where I really wanted the focus to be was on this section. Unfortunately, I was too close. So after looking at my LCD screen, with image number 2, I decided I need to back up a little bit more to get this in focus. But, as you can see, I'm still just a little bit too close. So with my third image, I finally nailed it. I got the right distance, got the focus, and now it's about doing some fine details in post to really give this composition the look that I wanted for it. Here's my final photo. Now I did 4 edits with this photo. First was to decrease the exposure just a bit. Secondly, I brought the white slider up just a touch to help accent the white hairs of this Canadian goldenrod plant. Third, I backed off the contrast just a hair. And lastly, I added a vignette to focus attention on the subject. This is kind of cool. Leaves all sitting inside of this. I saw this old log and thought it would make for a nice composition. It is absolutely beautiful through here. All the leaves on the ground just add so much more life. All right, looks like we're coming up off the trail here. Adamson Estate. All right, let's go check this out. Huh. And let me take your picture, buddy. Yeah? You poser. So I ended up getting a picture of that little squirrel guy. I don't know how it'll come out. It's really different shooting with this 50mm. I've definitely got to get used to it. Wow, this is really cool. So this is like an old mansion that used to be, I don't know what the heck it used to be. Wow. Well, there's guys here working on it, man. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a picture of this. All right, I'm gonna get a picture of this. Kind of cool. What I really liked about this composition is the old mortar and plaster created an amazing texture on the wall, and then just above the door, the architectural design is what really caught my attention. All right, so this is Adamson Estate. I don't know what that's going to be turned into, but it's pretty cool looking building. I'd love to find out how long it's been here. I'm going to take a walk around the front and see if I can see some other stuff. Oh, like this old barn. Holy. Okay, it's kind of cool. Now this probably would have looked a lot nicer with all the foliage on it, but I'm going to get a shot of it anyways. And here we are. Huh. Well, I got to get a shot of this with my phone. And I'll post that up. Well, I think I'm going to have to create a part 2 episode for all of the historical content that's going on here at the Adamson Estate. Cool. Oh wow. Okay, this is pretty spectacular, man. Wow. Oh my God, look at that line in the clouds. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a wicked line in the clouds. It's like someone's grabbed the clouds and pushed them all together. I gotta try to get a picture of that. Oh, what a beautiful location. Oh my gosh. I'd love to know if you could get some stars here. Probably a tough go being so close to the city, but I would give it a go for sure. Get the old 14mm out and see what the hell I can do. This is really cool, man. Look at this building. Wow. I don't know when they're going to be done, but I'll definitely be coming back down to get some shots of this when it's complete. Little guest house. That's cool, man. Alright, I'm going to get some photos done. So the golden rule when using a prime lens is your feet are your zoom. If you're thinking about a prime lens, be prepared to move towards or away from your subject until you find that composure that you really want. Today for me was about getting used to what the lens can do for me as a photographer. I really didn't play too much with my f-stop this time out, and I really pushed my ISO to see how my images would look with this lens. It's really all about framing up your subject to create the composition that you want. And this lens, I feel, will force me to pay more attention to my shot composition and hopefully obtain better pictures and more interesting shots. Okay, this would be amazing if this was all open. Oh, here we go. Adamson Estate. All right, I'm going to get a couple of pictures of this with the phone. Right on. Let's brighten that up a little bit more. And we'll brighten this up a little bit more. Cool. Alright, well it has started to rain, and they said it was going to start somewhere around 1:40, I think is the time frame that that I got off of my phone here. But I was just speaking with one of the guys back at the Adamson house here, and the scaffolding is coming down next week, which is going to be great. So I'm definitely going to have to pop back and get some photos of this place without the scaffolding around. It's going to be amazing. But what a cool location, I have to say. Oh yeah, you can just hear it coming down now. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content, click on that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to know when we're back. And as always, guys, live your best life.